Thanks for choosing products from Synovision. Today I would like to introduce the operation of Cardiac Viewer plugin. The plugin is based on the patient's CT scan data. Allows to segment cardiac automatically and synchronously browse the images in different cardiac phases, cardiac views, and observations of the heart motion status, which makes it easier for users to observe the structure of the heart and coronary. Now let me introduce and demonstrate the operation of Cardiac Viewer. In the patient list, select the patient for Cardiac Viewer. Select at least 2 phases in the sequence listed below. Click the right mouse button to open the drop-down menu. In the Add Process menu, select Cardiac Viewer to enter the Cardiac Viewer interface. You can also enter the interface by selecting CV in the function switch panel located in the lower right corner. Once the patient data is loaded into the plugin, the system will segment the heart and pop up a prompt window of automatic extraction of tissue automatically. After the extraction is completed, we can see the Cardiac Viewer interface. The left side of the interface is the image display area and the right side is the function operation panel area. And the bottom is the function module switching area, including patient management, 2D image browsing, advanced application, film layout, report edit, 3D printing, remote query and cloud diagnosis. In the advanced application module, CV is by default. Allows to switch between MPA, 3D and V. Attention! It will clear the results in current module if chose to stitch between CV and 3D. In the upper left corner of the screen displays the loaded phases. In the image display area, double-click the selected image to display as single image layout. And double-click again to restore the original layout. On the viewport, click right mouse button to open the shortcut menu. In the lower left corner of the 2D viewport, right-click to switch between 2D, MIP, MINIP and AIP display modes. In the lower right corner, left-click to edit the window width, window level and thickness manually. In the lower left corner of VIA image, right-click to switch between VIA, MIP, MINIP and AIP display modes. In the upper right corner where the blue text Cardiac is displayed, right-click to switch between all tissue and cardiac display modes. The right side is function operation panel. The upper part of the panel is the patient information. Below it and also on the bottom are general toolbars. Press the corresponding button of the general tool to define the left mouse button function. Default to select. Pan to move the image. Zoom to zoom in and out of the image. WL to adjust window width and window level by dragging the left mouse button. 2D to browse images in the pop-up window. You can switch the browsing sequence. Measure and mark ROI. Bookmark during the process. You can save the processing progress at any time, which is convenient to continue the process next time. Reset to reset the plugin to its initial status, which will restart from extracting tissues. Send to film to send selected images to film. Send to report to send selected images to report. Save to save selected image or save the image with annotations together. Tools to pop up the Tools panel of measurement and annotating. Preset WW and WL to adjust image window width and level. The middle area is the specific Tools panel to Cardiac Viewer. Layout switch, including standard layout, axis layout and chamber layout. When loading data into the CV interface, the default axial layout includes short axis plane view, horizontal long axis plane view, vertical long axis plane view and VIA view separately. There are 2 chamber view, 3 chamber view, short axis view and 4 chamber view in the chamber layout. 3 VIA quick view positions including top view, front view and side view. Restore to default location to restore all viewports to the initial status. Cutting tools is only applicable for VIA viewport, including cut tool to remove the tissue inside the ROI. Exterior to remove the tissues outside the ROI. Revoke cut to restore tissue inside or outside the ROI. Reset cut, clear the cut operation and restore to the default status. Both automatic extraction and reset at the bottom to initiate segment heart automatically. And position the base and apex of the heart. Protocol to adjust the VIA protocol. Opacity to set the opacity of MPA and VIA images. Tissue list includes body and cardiac. We can modify the tissue color on MPA window by double-clicking the color. And we can choose to display or hide the tissue color by checking the MPA. Tissue modification tools mentioned as follows are applicable for MPA viewport only. Erase, click this button. The mouse cursor becomes a sphere on MPA window. Use the sphere icon to erase the extracted tissue. Die, click this button to extract tissues on the MPA image by using the sphere icon. The radius of erasing and dyeing is 10 mm by default. And user can set the radius parameter here. Expand to expand the extracted tissue to the surroundings. Merging other tissues at the boundary into the extracted tissue, which will make the tissue appears fuller. Erode to shrink the extracted tissue inward and remove part of the extracted tissue boundary. To reduce the redundant tissues. Undo the previous operation. Up to 4 steps can be applied. Reset to empty the extracted tissues and autorun tissue extraction. In 4D panel. To perform dynamic heart playback. Allowing simultaneous playback of all windows or single window playback. Adjust the playback speed and playback direction here. Curve panel is to generate a curved planar reformation of the blood vessels. The curve list is at the bottom. Click the Add button at the upper right corner of the list. We can draw the curve interactively. Find the start point of the blood vessel in the MPA image. Left-click to define a control point. Define the control point layer by layer to obtain a curved planar reformation of the blood vessel. At the same time, the curve result image is displayed in the lower right window. Right-click to complete the curve drawing. The curve name will be displayed in the curve list. Click the Edit button to edit the curve name. Click the Delete to delete the selected curve in the list. Comparison panel to compare the images in multiple cardiac phase. 4 layouts are supported for multi-phase comparison. Auto-selecting the number of the loaded sequence. Up to 9 format layout. MPA, click this icon to display the cross-section images for comparison. VIA to compare the VIA images with multiple cardiac phase. Chamber to compare the short axis image. In the multi-select area below, check the phases to be displayed in the layout. The information displayed in the upper right corner of the comparison image shows the cardiac phase of current sequence. The display options are below. Overlay to define four-corner information of viewport display or not. Linkage to define the adjustment result of W, L, and zoom are linked on all MPA viewports or not. Crosshair to determine the crosshairs display in the MPA images or not. Quadrature to determine the crosshairs in the MPA image are orthogonal or not when rotating. Here is the introduction of Cardiac Viewer. Thanks you for watching.